Oh, yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's why with our Facebook, it's all our articles and stuff we want people to see.
Yeah.
I think that's the main message. Don't put anything on Facebook that you don't want the whole world to see.
Because here's the deal. You know this. Everybody maybe be aware of this. Let me just reinforce this idea. You don't have 500 friends. You don't have 700 friends. These are people that are just maybe acquaintances, people you've met once. I especially feel sorry for attractive girls who just get friend requests after somebody says hello to them, essentially, and they can track them down because they know who one of their friends are. They just go to their friends list, find their friend, send the friend request. Then the beautiful girl feels rude if she denies them. So they collect 1,000 friends, and then these people they don't even know, haven't met once, maybe years ago, now know everything about them, where they live, where they work, what they do. And there's countless aspects of people burglarizing people's homes because they'll just post on there, hey, I'm going to Hawaii for a week, or they'll post pictures when they're there, and then they have their address for even their quote-unquote friends know where they live, and so they know that they're gone. They go and break into their house. It's absurd. So just be careful, and it is a double-edged sword. It can be used. I have an iPhone. I think it's fantastic for getting email on the go. I have a video camera with me. If anything happens, I can videotape something. It does have its use, but let's just
Well, there's also a lot of disinfo on the web. I've talked to other Alex Joneses, because there's probably, last count, over 15 in Austin, and they're constantly writing me and saying, please tell people I'm not you. People come to my door at night. People come to my work. People go to my website. I've gotten calls from Alex Joneses in England and Canada saying, stop it. Tell people I'm not you. It's incredible, Mark.
There's this Orwellian nightmare is having such dramatic effects, and it's just getting started, because look what happened. I mean, the iPhone's an incredible piece of technology that's just come out in the last few years. So what's going to come down the road in the next 10 years is going to be utterly scary. I mean, there's instances of gang members. I've seen on the show Gangland on the History Channel back even before the Internet.
Now, they're using Facebook in South America to carry out, in some cases, multiple hits per day.
Well, what these gang members were doing is they were paying corrupt cops. They would get a license plate number of a drug dealer, a competitive drug dealer. They'd pay a corrupt cop to run the plates, get their address. They'd go and assassinate them. So this is before Facebook. This just goes to show what can happen when you just tell the world what it is that you're doing. And you don't even have to be doing anything wrong. You could just go on vacation and just post it.
And the globalists sell this idea of you don't have anything to hide, what are you afraid of? Well, a tyrannical government like Nazi Germany will use that to suppress me. Criminals will use that. That's why privacy is so precious. It's why we have the Fourth Amendment.
It's very scary, and these Orwellian ideas, we need to confront them right on the head. As soon as they come up with these ideas, like putting in the scanners and the microphones in the EU planes, we need to debunk them for the ridiculous ideas that they are, and show why, even if there were terrorists out there trying to get on these planes, that it wouldn't even work anyway. What's going to happen if they put these scanners in these seaplanes and start listening to us and recording us? Somebody's going to have a conversation about the scanner themselves, and then all those key words are going to be starting to be detected. So you're going to be sitting next to somebody, and they're going to say, oh, there's the scanner looking for terrorists.
Oh, no, they admit that then goes in the data mining database. The government's keeping all of that. They're so used to listening to our phones and everything without warrants, they're like, okay, we're going to record you on the street. We're going to record you in the airplane. I could myself just pull up. In fact, we can do it right now. Guys, just search the term top scientist, top radiation scientist, or radiation scientist says body scanners, serious cancer risk. Or headline, body scanners 20 times the radiation previously stated. Well, of course, they lie and say they're not saving the image. Look, folks, they emit serious radiation, and you don't see the TSA wearing a lead apron even, okay? You don't see them wearing badges. My dad's a dentist. They hide behind a lead wall. They've got a radiation officer that does it, that has to wear it. But notice, see, the globalists just don't care now. They come out and say, 20 years ago, Army said DU would kill you deader than a hammer. One whiff of it would kill you a decade later. Now they just say, no problem. Troops, snort it, roll around in it, don't even wash your hands. It's great. I mean, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, they would roll people's trucks through the border scanners. Now they have the families just go through them. It's just like the government's gone completely nuts. They're radiating you out in the open. Mark Dice, was that not a chilling call, though? In fact, we just put the headline up, body scanners could give you cancer. Airport body scanners emit radiation up to 20 times more powerful than previously thought, a scientist has warned. And there's so many of these guys out there warning people. But, I mean, Mark, I'm speechless.
We need a group of nurses and doctors, dentists, some group in the medical establishment to come out and denounce these scanners, to denounce the body scanners at the airport, the mobile vans, because, obviously this guy knows what he's talking about. He's in the field. The designers of these things don't even know, don't care, probably don't even think about these sort of repercussions. Doctors are so busy. Most people in the medical establishment work such long hours. They're not kind of really aware.
But why are there radiology rules for everything else, but the government's got cops on top vehicles going, I love this, I can look right through walls. I mean, the thing is Death Star power compared to a pop gun. I mean, a regular X-ray is like nothing. This is like blasting power, and it's backscattering all over them. If you know about radiology, look at Madame Curie. It killed her. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, there's got to be a way. If there is some sort of I know there's the recommended, amount that once you exceed a certain amount of radiation, it's going to be hazardous. So there's got to be some sort of a law, or someone in a position of power and legal authority has got to be able to put forth some sort of a lawsuit in order to stop these, put a freeze to it, get this kind of information out. So, it's people like that caller that are aware of things like this, that are aware of your show, that are going to be instrumental in alerting his coworkers. So, I don't know very many people in the medical establishment, but that's probably the only thing I could take to get that out, get some authorities on the subject that work in that field to come out and denounce how dangerous these are.
Well, Mark Dice, expanding on that, the issue here is they are breaking the law because they run the system. In fact, guys, search the term body scanners violate child porn laws. You'll get articles from the U.S. and from England. The one place they stood up in Denver, they had to stop X-raying, scanning 18 and under, because the point was made this is illegal under state and federal law. So they know it's illegal just on that front. There it is. New scanners break child porn laws. London Guardian. They don't care. That's what I'm saying. Have you seen these federal depositions of the Blackwater people with the running around naked, snorting giant amounts of cocaine and injecting drugs and smuggling armaments worldwide? I mean, it's just lunatics running things.
Yeah, I've seen some of that thing. Of course, there's been some interesting sex parties going on with some of the contractors. There's been allegations of women being raped, abused, all sorts of these things. Yeah, it's not that surprising. Again, turning back to Orwell here, it says if there was hope, it lies with the proles, because they are, in those swarming, disregarded masses, 85% of the population. And could the force to destroy the party ever be generated? But the proles, if only they could somehow become conscious of their own strength, would have no need to conspire. If they would choose, they could blow the party to pieces tomorrow morning.
But the party sits up there in fancy suits and plays the part of the liberal and the conservative, gives the proles the false paradigm, and the proles stay within it. We look at the snitch culture, the doublethink, the relationships, the foreign countries painted as enemies, power-hungry officials, the erosion of the language, the overwhelming Big Brother nanny state, the personification of the party, the perpetuation of war, the control of information, the social hierarchy. It was interesting. It's all predicted in George Orwell's book. And we're making tremendous progress. And like I said at the beginning of the show, it's a microcosm and a macrocosm. It's you as an individual are bettering your life, and then together we will benefit society. You're absolutely right, Mark Dice. Let's talk. Closing comments, Mark Dice. It's been great having you on. A year ago you went out with the gold coins and tried to give them to people for almost nothing, and they wouldn't take them. Just showing what idiots they are.
Yeah, and then people said that they thought that the coin was fake, so then I went out and, tried to, instead of trying to sell it to them for $50, I offered it to them for free if they had any idea how much it was worth, and one woman guessed just a few cents. 38 cents, I believe, was her answer. Maybe the highest one was a few $100s. So, yeah, just try to, just be thankful that you're on the right path. People listening to this show, people that are aware, you can become more aware once you find out the system. And if we don't, the consequences are horrific, as the main bad guy in 1984 says, quote, "Never again will you be capable of ordinary human feeling. Everything will be dead inside of you. Never again will you be capable of love or friendship or joy of living or laughter or curiosity or courage or integrity. You will be hollow. We shall squeeze you empty, and then we shall fill you with ourselves." So I just say, as Orwell concluded his book, down with Big Brother.
Well, that's spoken like a true terrorist.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is, once we can get our numbers up enough, we can become the norm. I mean, look what we've done for 9/11 Truth. It went from being virtually unknown to being an internet conspiracy theory to spilling over into the mainstream with the few Hollywood people to now we have world leaders around the world, and Germany and England and everywhere is just right on board with us. So if we can just get the word out about their Big Brother system, their nanny state, their social engineering plans, instead of us being looked at as the fringe, we're the norm, and we can win.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, but also just getting people to realize there is evil in the world, and it's running the government. I mean, people have got to really get it to their head. They don't just care if the radiation hurts you or don't care. They want to hurt you.
Yeah, they're inhuman social Darwinists. And so, hijack the culture jam, the social network sites. Use the system against the system to crack it open.
Absolutely. Great job, Mark Dice.